Hello everyone, I'm Bleed Carswell and welcome back to another quick, pretty impromptu video. Now at the moment I'm living with an MG ZS EV and in fact it's being picked up this afternoon. So I thought what I'd do for the last for my last time with it is show you how I've gone about charging it during my week with it. Now you have to bear with me, I have a very bad throat at the moment. But yes, I'm currently at a rapid charger which I found using ZapMap. I'm hoping you can see that. And now I'm going to go and plug it in and show you the process. This is going to be a pretty sort of handy cam footage, so I can only apologise for that. I can also only apologise if I don't talk massively. We are in let me turn you around, in a car park. But yes, let's go and plug this in to the BP Chargemaster that is over there. So the charging port is under here, so we lift that up. I then tend to undo these before going anywhere near the charging point. So that's now ready for the charger. So we come over to this. We then go contactless, okay, contactless, there we go, just needs a bit of a prod. You have to get your card on here in the correct place. This is the bit I find most difficult. Okay, then tap it on the other one. Try not to show you my card details. That should be working now. Welcome, card accepted. Now I should have to choose my type of charging, so I'm going to go 50 kilowatt CCS because that's what this car can charge at. That is this one here, so I take that. I then plug it into the car, which is easier said than done with one hand. Right, that is normally easier, but I park like a pillock, so that is in. And then come back over here and wait for that to do its thing. I'll just point out that this cable isn't all that long, so the fact I've not parked it particularly straight and putting that in with one hand was an annoying thing. Well, that should now be going. Wait for this last safety check. And now we are charging. So it is as simple as that. The timer on my phone, on my camera, says 2 and a bit minutes. So as you can see, that is how quick and how difficult that is. Right, that's now charging. I'm going to get back in and talk to you for a minute. Right, so I hope that maybe that bit was useful and you'll see that actually public chargers aren't that scary. This one, when I first rocked up to it, I literally did what I did just then. I tapped my contactless card and it worked. Now for the rest of this video, I'm kind of going to do a bit of a vlog style and talk about how I think the future of electric cars is going to pan out and whether or not I'd ever consider owning one, and for whatever reasons that somebody's going to walk past. There he is. So do I like EVs? Well, I've lived with this one for a week and yes, I've enjoyed it. It seems to do everything you want a car to do day to day extremely brilliantly. It's very effortless and the instant torque is very addictive. However, I won't own one, and that is because I don't have a home charger. I say this in my review of this car, which if this is uploaded as a separate video, please click in a corner to watch. But if you haven't got a home charger, you really need to think about an EV as an ownership proposition. That's because their public infrastructure just doesn't really exist, and what is here at the moment, I fear, isn't going to be more than adequate in about 6 months' time. And that is because, as I've witnessed on ZapMap, I will probably try and get that up again now just quickly to show you what's going on. ZapMap. Let me zoom out. In the town I live in, I don't know how many people live here, there's about 20-30,000 at least, there are 2 public chargers. That means that for the time being, I can come down here and plug in for a bit. I can even bugger off home because I don't live very far away, get a cup of tea, come back later and pick this car up. However, sorry, I've got a bad throat at the moment. However, that isn't going to be the case if suddenly 15% more people own a EV in this town. Suddenly there's going to be a lot more people needing these public chargers if they haven't got home chargers, or even if they just want to top up whilst they're out and about. And then there's going to be a bit of a battle to try and charge it publicly. Therefore, I won't own one unless I had a home charger, just because of the aggro that is involved. With this, it's not a very difficult process once you're here, but it's just not particularly useful having to come to a car park. For example, last night I was filming this morning, and I got in the car and realised I didn't have as much range as I thought. That meant before going to bed I had to bring the car down to this car park. It is a train station car park at 11:30 at night, and sit in it for 20 minutes whilst I put some juice into it. Yeah, not ideal. Now I just want to quickly check some notes. I've not planned this video, but I do have a few points I want to talk about, and I don't want to ramble for too long. So yes, I like EVs. No, I wouldn't own one because as an ownership experience, not having a home charger is a bit of an issue. Now it'll just kind of lead me onto a little, it's kind of an aside, but it's kind of not. Do I think we should make the sacrifice of convenience to try and save the planet? That's an interesting one. I was talking to my dad about this, and I kind of feel as though we have been spoilt with our love of internal combustion engines and the fact that that's been so convenient. Do we, as a human race and as a population, need to accept that actually maybe some inconvenience in terms of charging is a small price to pay in terms of saving the planet? I don't know, that's a bit of a big question for a little car journalist me to answer, but if my option was no car and save the planet, or an electric car with some awkward charging and still save the planet, I'd go for the electric car. Don't know, just food for thought really. Maybe we need to stop being so selfish and actually just embrace it and just get on with it to the best of what we can. Having said that, I still think there is a long way to go. Even before that point, I think we need to have mass public charging. For example, this car park has one charger in it. I don't want to turn you around now because I'm vaguely framed well. But every space in every car park, you imagine, is going to have a charger at some point, or at least half of them. And that is because obviously people without a parking space at home are going to have to charge when they're out and about. Like I've said, in order to make that not a battle, each or at least half of these spaces are going to need a charger. I think that is especially sort of relevant when it comes to places like here, the train station, or even more so at supermarkets. If charging times drop enough and you can put 40 and in 40 minutes you can put 80% of your charge in, I don't know why somewhere like Tesco or Asda, for example, doesn't have a load of charging points. You could rock up, plug in, do your weekly shop, come back to your car and have a fully charged battery, and therefore your life is a lot easier. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the future. But obviously at the moment I don't think it's necessarily ideal, and you kind of hope that at some point soon things are going to start happening to make this whole transition a lot easier. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? No, not really. Another kind of deep, meaningful point would be, me and my dad were talking about this again, are people going to eventually be priced out of car ownership? Obviously petrol things are going to become banned, so therefore they're going to become harder to buy, maintain and run. And then if you've got an EV and you need to have a home charger, is that going to sort of price poorer people out of these cars because suddenly they can't afford to charge it? They can't afford to charge it at home, and public networks are probably going to get expensive, and if there is a lot of demand for them, hard to come by. Yeah, I don't know, maybe me just being paranoid there. Yeah, a bit of an interesting one. Overall, I've enjoyed my time with the car, but the EV experience, I think has a fair way to go. I've charged four or five times this week. Most of them are short top-ups, like I say in my actual review. Watch that by clicking somewhere. And they've not really been too much of a problem. It's just the inconvenience of coming down here. I did have one problem. I left it here on Saturday evening. It was about 9:30. I came back an hour later and it had an error on it, and it didn't tell me what the error was. Because it's a train station and because it was late at the weekend, I feel somebody's tampered with it to try and be funny. Not ideal. Yeah, on the whole, I don't think the reliability on these things is too bad though. I think if I was sat in here, that probably wouldn't have happened. Right, I'm going to shut up now because I've been rambling. So yes, I've been Bleak. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and come back soon for another video.